Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, yesterday, Kalonzo Musyoka was on Citizen TV and he was asked a question by Yvonne Okwara as far as Rigathi Gachagwa's impeachment is concerned. Her question was that if you were Rigathi Gachagwa, you are in his shoes, what will you do from where the issue has reached the stage of his impeachment right now? Because remember, today we are expecting the Senate to start discussing the impeachment motion of Rigathi Gachagwa that they received from the National Assembly. Probably tomorrow there will be final voting at night to send Rigathi Gachagwa home. So Kalonzo responded to this, and according to him, he is advising Gachagwa accordingly never to resign. That if he is going to resign, it is going to taint his name. That stepping down can lead to further legal battle, among other things. The other reason is that the people are on Rigathi Gachagwa's side. Therefore, he should not resign. I quote him, "I respect his judgment because of the stage at which this process is now. If he resigns, then everybody will say, aha, yes, there are things." In fact, he ran the risk of now being charged with manipulation and trumped up charges. Have we not seen that and all manner of things to demean his character? That is Kalonzo Musyoka.
What would you do if you were in Rigathi Gachagwa's place right now? There's talk that, he should resign to perhaps save himself the ignominy of, being impeached and perhaps have a chance at serving in public office once again, depending on how things go. He himself is on record as saying he is not resigning and he will see this process through to its logical conclusion. What would you do?
I think I respect his judgment because the stage at which this process is now, if he resigns, then everybody will say, yes, there are things. And in fact, he runs the risk of now being charged. A manipulation, trumped up charges. Have we not seen that? And then all manner of things to demean his character. If I live in this country, the population is on the side of the deputy president. Not because they love him or anything, but I think because they see that instead of following what we want to see, the ticket going home together, you should not separate this ticket because they see injustice. And injustice committed to one person, even if he's deputy president, is injustice to the whole country. So his decision to go on until the end of the process, I think is laudable. If I was in his shoes, I'll go all the way. At least I can have a name to take home with me. You don't have always to do things in order to please or to be afraid. Because if he has nothing in his conscience, he should fight on. But if there are things, they open those cupboards and there are skeletons and things, then he'll be afraid. But I think if he has nothing to fear, it is good. It's also education for this country. So that children will be born many years will know there once was a deputy president, maybe the others will be impeached. Perhaps this time it will be a whole president being impeached. That is what you want to know. That is what the young generation, the Gen Zs and the millennials and majority of Kenyans want to get their country back. As it is going downhill at a speed that nobody ever imagined.
Now, looking at things right now, and the situation that Rigathi Gachagwa is in your own view, if you are faithful to Rigathi Gachagwa, what advice would you give to him? I wish to read all these comments. Your unsolicited advice to Rigathi Gachagwa. What will you advise Gachagwa to do? Now, before we continue with this final discussion, just a quick request for those who are watching and you are not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. To our channel subscribers, I must say thank you so much. And again, to all our viewers, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much, and back to this discussion. Now, regarding Gachagua right now is between a rock and a hard place. That's where he is. And looking at the situation, this issue will be dealt with within 2 days. We've been discussing about what will happen after the impeachment. Kila kitu imepangwa. And seemingly, Gachagua might not be rescued by the Senate. Instead, they are going to hang him. But Kalonzo's advice, if you look keenly, I am convinced that Kalonzo will be a beneficiary if Rigathi Gachagua is impeached, in my view. If Gachagua is impeached, Kalonzo will be one of the beneficiaries of this. So if you know you can benefit from something, do you work toward it or against it? Definitely, you will work toward that. So Kalonzo as a beneficiary, I think in my view his advice is misleading Gachagua. He wants to be seen as someone who is supporting Gachagua, standing with him, including even giving his senators and members of parliament to vote in defense of Gachagua. But I don't think if it is meaningful. It is just to try and paint that figure and bring out that needed perception for him to look like a close brother to Rigathi Gachagua during his trial times. But he will benefit. So, Kalonzo is playing game here. Remember, this is the same Kalonzo Musyoka who snatched ODM Kenya from Raila Odinga immediately after they registered. Kumbuka ile jamaa anaitwa Dan Mans alikimbia na certificate. Ni juzi wamebadilisha from ODM Kenya to Wiper. Who is the same person? So if you understand him, you can know ni mtu wa kupita katikati. Sasa hivi Kalonzo anataka kupita katikati. That is it. Because when you say that Gachagua has people on his side, if he has people, will these people change what the Senate will do? And if the court will justify it? If the Senate will impeach Gachagua, will the people change that? We saw Mike Mbuvi Sonko being impeached. Did his supporters change that? Kalonzo was in court trying to fight so that Mike Sonko can be given a ticket to run in Mombasa on Wiper ticket. It was all rejected. The same Kalonzo Musyoka, tunakumbuka vizuri sana. Did the impeachment of Waititu change anything? Because he had supporters. It never changed anything. So yes, Gachagua might have a huge constituency behind him, the larger Mount Kenya region. But will they have anything or a say on his impeachment? Once he is impeached, he cannot hold any public office. He can't run for any office, including an MCA position. He can't. He will just be someone like Sonko. You just support people. Because you had so and so he did bad to you, you support the opponent. So naona Sonko anaona ni kwamba Uhuru engineered his removal. So he supported William Ruto because Ruto was an opponent to William Ruto. Because Ruto was an opponent to Uhuru's person. So, Kalonzo is playing game. I don't trust his statement. I cannot. People will not change the verdict of the Senate. Supreme Court can if they have evidence. But again, you can't lack something to pin Gachagua down. Kwa hii serikali, watu wote wako corrupt. Gachagua wako corrupt, Ruto ni corrupt na watu wote ni corrupt. Ukitafuta kesi utaipata. Wanasiasa kama wote ni corrupt. Huwezi kosa kitu ya kuweka ya chini. Kuna kesi mingi tu za hawa jamaa. So advising Gachagua not to resign, I think he might be acting the way I see the lawyers around Gachagua, insisting that he should not resign because they have bills to pay. They have bills to pay. They will push this thing to the Supreme Court. Wataenda miezi kama 2, 3, wanaweza enda paka East Africa Court of Justice. Iko hapa Arusha, Tanzania. Alafu mwishowe Gachagua ataenda nyumbani kama Mike Sonko ama Waititu. Then Kalonzo is warning Gachagua that in his view, if he resigns, it will deem him. I think resigning can help. He will be washing himself clean. Rather than waiting to prosecute this matter, when evidence will be tabled to expose Gachagua, he will be more exposed in the Senate, because in Senate, they do proper interrogation. There will be cross-examination. Gachagua atakuwa anaulizwa maswali na lawyers, saa zingine wanakuwa wakali kwake. Itafika hiyo kiwango. So, hii mambo ya impeachment inaenda kumwanika. He's saying stepping down is going to harm Gachagua's reputation. What about staying in a position that already kuna hiyo shida zote zenye zimetokea? It will not help. He goes on to say that stepping down will lead to further legal battle against the deputy president, Gachagua. It is true. There will be this case in court for a long time. Gachagua can fight the case and still be on ballot, consolidate his support. But imagine Gachagua is on ballot, Kalonzo on ballot. Atapata wapi your support? He cannot. If Gachagua is not on ballot, Kalonzo was supporting him, he's on ballot, Ruto is here, Ruto is Gachagua's opponent, Gachagua will support this other side. Naona vile game inacheza pale. Legal battle will be there, whether Gachagua will be impeached or not, because Ruto knows that if Gachagua will be free, he will destroy him. So he has to keep him busy in the corridors of the court. Akwe impeached, paka to the end, atamfuata paka kotini to silence him. That will happen. So in that, I don't see Kalonzo if he's really serious in his advice to regarding Gachagua. Personally, mimi nimeamini hivyo. Na haya sio maoni ya hii channel, ni maoni yangu mimi kama binafsi. I don't know your views, but let us meet in the comment section to continue with this discussion. Thank you so much and see you in our next video.